gotta tone you down sometimes.
Young fellas,
come on,
calm down. It's gonna be all right.
You played with so much passion, bro.
Yeah,
like
I did, man. It was my time to, I don't know, just release everything.
My sophomore year was a very weird transition, and then my junior year was the year Fogs left, and I actually contemplated going to play football. I think it's only right to start with the legend, Alex English,
For sure.
because of what he did.
We're 1801 Media, full court with Carlos Powell. I have a very, very special guest here today, Aaron Lucas, one of the best to ever do it. My first point guard in college.
First one.
The first one in college. I did not know you were the 98 South Carolina Player of the Year, though. You were one of those ones. But I expected that from a guy like you, man. Welcome, man. It's good to have you here, brother.
Listen, man, you know the love has been real since day one. Mm-hmm. We got 20 plus years in. I'm proud of you, brother. I've said that many occasions, but this might be one of those capstone moments. So, hey, let's get to it, man.
No doubt, man. I always like to ask, why did you choose South Carolina?
It's a valid question. I think that 97 year with Melvin, Larry, BJ, Ryan Stack, William Gallman, Arthur Carlisle, Antonio Grant, Herbert Lee Davis, Rekus Nix, Hagen Rouse. That might cover everybody.
That might be everybody.
They had a great run those previous 2 years. Obviously, growing up in Columbia, watching Gamecock basketball for years, and then having that moment where it looks like we're on the way. And our names are, the names are being headlined in college basketball. I think they got up to a top 10 ranking that year, won the SEC. So it felt right. I was coming off a pretty good senior season. Wanted to make noise in your home. And I think that was, for all of us, a reason for us to stay at home. And then just, we'll probably get to this later, but chasing some of the BJ thing, right? And I can,
sure.
I'll get into a story about BJ later, but
we're definitely going to tap into that for sure, man. But, reversing a little bit to your high school days, at Northeast. One of the best to lace the shoes up at the school. Biggest rival, probably the biggest game you can remember from high school.
Biggest game in high school had to have been Laurel Richland.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about that.
The hype was always built. Edward Scott, our brother, our guy, Orlando Howe, Ivan Howe. They were loaded. I think some of the connection came between the Gary Fulmer, Carl Williams swap, if you will. I originally went to Northeast because of Carl Williams and his friendship with my late uncle, Bob Reynolds. But so happened when I got there, Gary left LR, Carl went to LR. So I ended up playing for Gary Fulmer, but the talent down there, the coaching down there, and we were just trying to find our way. And so those games are always packed, fans always came, and then by the time we got to junior year, Ed, Rowe, Ivan, Rod Shiver, all those guys were making noise in the city. And, myself, Corey Ward, Bryant Latimer, we were starting to make our own little noise, and we both our teams kind of ran through our region. And those games were standing room only. Tuesday nights, standing room only.
You had to get there early.
You had to get there early. I think my senior year, the second game we played, I was actually hurt that game. That game sold out three 3 months in advance, or not 3 months. It sold out 3 weeks in advance of the game at LR. So it was just the energy, and then the players. All of us play AAU together, so there was a lot of connections there. But LR, hands down, was probably our biggest rival. Spring Valley was our I don't want to call it crosstown, but it was our local rival. Gotcha. You know, I love my Valley guys, but
they know what it is, right?
They already know what time it is.
For sure. But yeah, I want a specific game that stands out, you know, maybe against LR, maybe against somebody else. You know?
Well, 2 games.
Yeah.
The Spring Valley game in '98, I hit a buzzer beater. They still say I traveled.
Walk us through that. What happened?
That game might have went to overtime. Corey Ward, I think, hit the shot to put us in the overtime. And that team had Kenny White on it, Teddy Ward, my late brother Sean Martin. We got down. We had to go full court in 6 seconds. And I got the inbounds, you know, the standard cross screen come around. And I got the ball, split 2 defenders, got to the end. I think I laid a high one up over a guy named Marco Sanders, about 6'8". Ball hits top of the backboard, drops in. I keep running out. I didn't even stay on the floor because I shot it, and as I'm, you know, your momentum keeps going, and I went right out of the back of the gym. Yeah. And so that was probably a highlight. And then the first LR game prior to the one I got hurt, I was talking about. I think LR might have been ranked nationally at that time. Again, you're talking Rose 6'9", Ivan 6'6", Rod Shiver 6'8", Ed Scott 6'2". Yes. Our center was 6'2".
Yeah, they had a college. They had a college roster.
They were
some big time players over there, man.
Hands down, the state favorites to win that year.
Easily.
And I think it might have been a 34-32 game. It was one of them games, yeah. But I think I had 19 or 20 of the 34, and I was in that bag that day. Yeah. And it kind of silenced the noise, but it built up the energy for the next game. And we went back and forth with LR over the years, but that was a big one because, like I said, it's standing room only against one of the best teams in the state, one of the best teams in the country. And I love my Diamonds now because I am one.
You are a Diamond.
But they didn't win their state championship until 5 left. I love saying that. So.
Oh man, you always got to one up on them.
For sure. But it's all love. The community has embraced me. Yeah. I'm a Diamond through and through at this point in my career, coaching down there and being a part of the community. So it was
How many years been coaching down there?
I got there in 18 on the boys' side, so this is year 7.
6, 7. Yeah.
6, 7. Coaching on the girls' side, this would be 6. So I did a year on the boys' side and loving being on the girls' side at this point. Yeah. Love it.
You look very, comfortable over there. As a guy that watched you play and got a chance to lace up beside you, I would never think you would have been a girls' coach though until you and Brandon Wallace. More Brandon Wallace, I would think Brandon.
Definitely
more than you.
Wally. Yeah. I did not expect that or see that coming, but I think he fell into it like I did. Yeah. The opportunity came, and when they interviewed me about being a girls' coach, I had to really step back. Yeah. And we always look at the game for what it is. It's just basketball. And I think that's how I answered that question is it's still basketball. The ball got to go in the hoop. The schemes and all that stuff are the same. The only difference is girls don't dunk. Yeah. It's literally the only difference. It's a couple. Well, not in the high school right now.
It's a couple.
Ashlyn Cheese Watkins probably one of the few that I know. But for the most part, you don't get the dunks and the alley-oops and some of the highlight stuff all the time.
For sure.
But just as far as if you're a purist of the game and you enjoy the teaching aspect of it, the girls' side has been it for me.
Yeah, for
you know,
sure.
Different people
I
have different parts of it. Yeah,
I see the the Instagram posts. I see it all, man. I definitely learn a lot from you. Pay attention to everything you're doing, man. And
dog work don't lie.
Never ever, man. But let's transition a little bit and get back into college. Playing for Coach Fogler. Tell me about that. How was that? Because I never got a chance to play for him. I was on the end, when
Dave
came in and he he left. So everybody told me great stories about him.
Coach Fogler was different. Coming from where the position I was in out of Northeast, being the guy, everything kind of focused around me and the things that I brought to the game, and then getting to Coach Fogler, who love him to death, still talk to him to this day. His approach was definitely more team oriented because of the North Carolina system and what he got out of, playing at Chapel Hill, being under Dean Smith. So it was more systematic versus built around the talent. And so that was an adjustment for me. Obviously, our freshman year, we were terrible. But his intensity and his IQ for the game was out the roof. He's a numbers guy. He was a system guy. And I think I learned more of how to develop a plan and how to approach the game than I have, other than being in Lithuania under one of the coaches I played for there. But just Coach Fogler's approach to it, like everything was, every T was crossed, every I was dotted. There was no cheat code to his system. It was, this is how you do it, and if you don't understand, it's never going to work. Like, you have to understand why you make a bounce pass to get in the secondary, why the chest pass on secondary is a completely separate play. That's how detailed it was, and I started implementing that as a coach. The reversal.
Yes.
Bounce pass is one thing, chest pass is a completely different thing in secondary.
Yes.
And so, things like that you pick up that when you get older and you play enough, you start to appreciate the brilliance that he brought to the game. And a lot of colorful language.
For sure.
It
comes with the game.
To get the point across. Yeah. But at the end of the day, he loved each and every one of us and kept us together. And that was very valuable. Like I said, still talk to him to this day. He came to our gathering, and you can see guys just gravitate to him.
Yeah, right to him.
Just because of, and I think that comes from the North Carolina thing.
Yeah.
But
system.
He brought that culture,
camaraderie,
and I think that's why our generation had the connection. Even though you didn't play for him, I was on that tail end.
Yeah, man. It still feels no different.
Yeah, the connection never changed.
Every time I come around, it doesn't feel any different.
I was gonna say,
like we're stacking.
You almost play like you played in our era with that particular era.
I was talking to a couple guys, and I was, with Stack as well, and they treat me just like
that's
like I was on the team.
That is Eddie Fogler.
Yeah,
hands down.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
dope,
Eddie
man.
Fogler. Yeah.
Well, I know he taught you a lot because you had 451 assists at USC. So
me passing.
Yeah, you passing.
Straight
That's what
up.
I'm saying.
Had
Number
to learn
10
something.
all time.
Still in there.
For sure. All time in assists, minutes played, number 10, for sure. 123 games played.
Yeah, they wore me out.
That speaks a lot. That's durable. That's durability. I think you were one of the. You really taught me, like, all right, you gotta take care of your body. You know what I'm saying? And that weight room is the key. And just that mental focus on just getting better. And I think you did that, and I tried to follow in your footsteps as much as I could. You know what I'm saying? And I think that helped me as a pro. You know what I'm saying? Become a professional after USC.
Right. Well, I mean, obviously, if you took that from it, that is an honor because you exceeded a lot of our dreams. You know, you come to South Carolina to be successful and then hopefully get an opportunity. And like I said, you know, we brothers, man. I've followed everything, and have kept track of, you know, your progress, and hopefully I've given you as much as you've given me, even though we share a little bit of time difference in age. You know, it's like we right there. So
always,
you know, durability is important, man. If you want to play, you got to be on the floor. I think I missed games due to a broken hand. I think I had turf toe my senior year,
my freshman year,
and missed a few games. But I wanted to play. That's all I know.
Yeah.
And you want to be on the floor, and if it ain't broke, I'm out there.
For sure.
Tape it up, whatever. Let's go.
Most definitely, man. The inspiration that you brought to like the team as, you know, a freshman, you know, coming in and just following in your footsteps and just trying to do what Luke does. Right. I was always trying to like be like Luke. That was just my thing, and I know you kind of like felt that. It was like, all right, man, this young dude is, you know, came to the dorm room and all right, he's still here. Practice. I'm still there. You like every single day I was following Luke and trying to figure out a plan, and I think that's what you did. Basically what my shirt, you know,
Inspire One, man. That's what we do.
This is your thing, man. You inspired me. You know what I'm saying? And how did you come up with, you know, the Inspire One?
Really through education.
I know, because you always, one thing I did know, you always read a lot.
Oh yeah.
You always read. You was always reading.
Funny story.
You're always reading, bro.
Funny story. So I can't take credit for that at all.
Why not?
Our other point guard is the one who got me into reading. Money Mike Boynton.
Mike Boynton. Shout out to Mike Boynton, man.
Shout out to 30.
Where's he at? Ohio State right now?
Michigan.
Yeah. Assistant coach at Michigan.
Yes.
That's love. That's
yeah. Good. So Mike, when he got there, so Mike was 2 behind me, a year ahead of you, right? Yep. All right. So Mike came in reading, and he was always reading. And I think one day I was asking, we were on a trip because we were roommates on the road, and I was asking him, you know, like, what's up with all this, man? Like, everybody got on headphones, they CDs bumping, and you over here reading. And he gave me a book, True to the Game. I'll never forget it. And I picked that book up, and I couldn't put it down. And that's what got me like locked in the reading and trying to just expand your mind and try to be more well-versed in different aspects of just life in general. And so Mike actually got me to that point of just books, nonstop books. So if you got it from me, I can't take credit. Credit goes to Mike Boynton. And but just hopefully in a leadership role as a senior, just being able to give young guys, because you came in with a lot of energy. You had a fire about you that you wanted to, you had a chip on your shoulder that you had to make sure people knew about, and you had to let them know, I'm gonna knock this chip off my shoulder, and whoever goes with it goes with it. And so I gravitated to your energy, and I think you were gravitating more to my kind of calmness.
Yeah.
And it was a perfect match, man. So
that's always
the rest is history.
That's the picture I got, man, where you always slap me on the chest.
Yeah.
You know?
Had to tone you down sometimes.
Yeah. Young fella.
Come on.
Calm down. It's gonna be all right.
You played with so much passion, bro.
Yeah,
like
I did, man. It was my time to, I don't know, just release everything, bro. And I was having fun, man. I was really having fun, and it wasn't like I was playing angry. I was out there just having the time of my life, dog.
Yeah.
It was like, yo, let this young kid off the leash. All these people in here, who they here to see?
Yeah.
Oh man, 1-5, 5'5".
Hey,
Come on,
we was
man.
on it. We was on it.
And it was definitely fun. So,
yeah.
Going back to college, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of my dopest memories, I think, was the Maui Invitational.
Yeah.
When we went to Maui out there and we played against UCLA, Duke.
Yeah.
I forgot the third team.
Chaminade. Yeah.
Yes, it was Chaminade. But the highlight from there was it's funny. This is a funny highlight. You were just balling, man. You were having time. Hey, you was out there getting it. And then you just had caught a full body cramp, bro. Your whole body cramped up. Your entire body cramped up.
2 IVs.
Ambulance, everybody.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was all over ESPN and everything, man. The camera was just on your calves, man. I saw your calf muscles just lock up.
Whole body. It was the worst, best experience I could have had.
Mm-hmm. After
I got through it.
Yeah.
It's funny you brought that up. I thought you was gonna talk about the dunk.
No, we're gonna talk about that too. No, but we're talking about the cramp first.
Cramp first.
Yes.
All right. So, it was hot over there. Obviously, being from the South, you used to hydrating and, just playing. We played outside as kids, so we knew about heat, but it was different.
It was cooking over there, bro.
And I played a lot of minutes. I think I averaged 32 minutes or something crazy. 38 minutes.
Mm-hmm. I was about to
my
say
senior year. 38, 39 minutes. I played a lot, and I played as hard as I could play. And we had guys like you, like Ro. That team's energy and chemistry, I think, was on a different level. And so we had to bring it every day, every night. And we had a point to make. We were playing UCLA. We were playing Duke. And I just remember my legs cramping up. It might have been one calf, and I was like, all right, And as I tried to stretch that one, the other one, it's like, oh, man. And then you get to a point where you're trying to stretch one thing, which is working muscles in the other thing, and then it all just, it dominoed. And when we got in the locker, I think it might have been you and Ivan or somebody had to carry me to the locker room because I couldn't walk. And I had to lay down, and everything just locked up. And next thing you know, I just remember 2 IVs pumping me full of the fluid. After that, it was the most uncomfortable feeling because your body's just full of fluids.
Yeah,
you didn't eat, you didn't drink.
Like
you bloated. Like it's uncomfortable. But I was hoping that was a sign of I was giving everything.
You were.
Like, I'm gonna give you everything I got.
Definitely were.
But it definitely wasn't gonna happen like that again. That was horrible.
I don't think I ever seen you cramp up again after that.
Nah.
Well, yeah, go back. Well, talk about the dunk. I was a freshman, man.
But you started that whole sequence with a hustle play.
Yeah.
Diving on the floor, kicking at the head, I believe, Chuck.
Yeah. Chuck Edson, man. Shout out to Chuck, man.
And Chuck, instead of you going to dunk the ball, you went up with a floater. And it might have been Dante Jones or Dunleavy or somebody trying to block it. You missed the floater. And I was there. I was always trying to catch something off the rim. For sure. I'm the smallest guy on the team, but I was trying to dunk on somebody.
Every time, for sure.
And either adrenaline or just a moment, and I caught it on, I think, Matt Christensen or whatever his name was. And at that point, we were still down. I don't know.
We were down.
Like 20 or something like that.
We were definitely
I
down.
felt in my mind like
that moment was,
we back. We ready now.
we psyched ourselves out for
and
that.
And Carlos Boozer and Dunleavy Cook rode that game. Ro, I love you to death, but Dunleavy cooked you that game.
Oh my God. Dunleavy was different though, bro. Yeah. He was different.
But again, I don't think we saw players that complete as a 5, because they only played 5 guys.
That's it. Who,
Duhan, Jay Will, that was my assignment. Jay Will, you still my dog, but you had 6 points that game.
That many, for sure.
Seatbelt.
Yeah.
Duhan, Dunleavy, Boozer, Dante Jones was on that team. So they had 5 guys that went to the league.
Yeah.
That's
crazy.
To see that in real time, because you hear about Duke, but until you see it, like Carlos Boozer is
I was guarding him, bro.
massive.
Like, think about that. Me.
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah.
Come on now.
As a freshman. And so, they earned everything, like the billing for that team and the billing for the Duke thing.
They won the national championship. Or the Maryland.
I think Maryland might have won that year. But they were, I believe they might have been a Final Four team. But, I mean, I don't think we saw anything. In our conference, Kentucky is probably the closest thing. But they didn't have 5 of them.
No.
You had Tayshaun and you had different guys that 1 or 2, 3 guys that could go, but they had 5 pros.
Yeah.
Legit pros.
That was tough. And UCLA with what? Jason Capono?
Who else was out there? I could be wrong. I know I played against Matt Barnes, but I don't know if it was that year. But I know Jason Capono was the guy on that team.
For sure, he was.
But even then, I think we had a confidence, like, we had guys that could shoot. Yeah. We had guys that could play. But we were still South Carolina. We weren't UCLA. We weren't Duke. And I don't think we had the confidence like they did.
No, I don't think so either.
If they caught us at the end of the year when we were rocking and rolling,
then
we probably could have took on anybody.
Towards the end, we ended up running into who was that? Memphis in the NIT.
Yeah, man. But
let's talk about that. Come on, we got to talk about it, man.
That one hurt me. I ain't gonna lie.
It did. That was Wagner, DeJuan Wagner, right?
DeJuan Wagner. God. I think he had
who else?
17. He averaged 23. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna put this out here, and I don't mind saying this now because it's 20 plus years now.
Oh my God!
Nobody scored their average on me that season.
No, I don't think so.
Preston Shumpert. I'll take that back. Preston had 27 on me, but he's 6'8". I'm 5'11". Preston was my assignment against Syracuse the game before.
I got you. Yeah.
And but I'll take that.
That was a tough matchup.
That was a tough matchup. I'll take it though. But DeJuan Wagner wasn't the problem. Earl Barron went 12 for 12 that game.
Earl didn't miss. What were we supposed to do about that? Oh my God, that one hurt. That one hurt.
And that's why I say that one hurt, because a guy who averaged, I think, 9 points, maybe 11 points, something like that.
Earl averaged double figures, man.
He goes 12 for 12, 24 points, and that to me was the difference in that game. He
had like 11 rebounds or something like that.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
And we played a good game. The game plan was perfect. I think everybody contributed to the best of their abilities, but when a guy doesn't miss, it's blessings on his end, but it's it kind of sucks when you're on the losing end.
For sure, man. Well, I want to go back to your welcome to the SEC moment. What was your welcome to the SEC moment?
Jamal McGlure.
What happened? Let's talk about that. It was
yeah. Jamal McGlure.
Come on now.
I think I was coming on a cross screen, and you got to bump the big man, try to get back to your guy. And I think Jamal, he gave me one of them welcome moments.
Yes.
And instead of just trying to brush me off, he just had his elbow set.
Yeah.
So as I'm running to set the screen, and he pops up, and he catches me right there in the sternum. It's like, all right, this is different.
It's a very different league right here.
Different.
SEC always been physical.
Yeah, but that was different.
You felt that for a couple plays?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For days.
Days. Not plays, but days.
And again, this is during a time where I think SEC was underrated. Each team had a pro.
We can go down the list if you want to now. My freshman year was crazy, but
each team that I played against in the SEC had a pro at some point in time, except the University of South Carolina.
That's tough.
And I got my own other opinions about that. But that was probably my welcome moment. On the bad side. On the good side, we played Ole Miss early in the year, and I had 21 and something. And I was like, I can
boogie a little bit.
I might be all right. Talking, and I don't talk much. But that game, I was
about to say,
cash.
Really
I was talking a lot of trash that game.
You didn't talk trash. I always remember you'd ball your fists up and you'd clap, and then you would get real, real close.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, he about to turn it now.
Physically, I wanted to make my presence known because, you were more of a talker. You had that energy.
Yeah. I can talk and play.
Talk and play at the same time.
Yeah,
I had to lock in.
Yeah.
But that game,
no.
Talk. It's on that game.
The toughest place you had to play in the SEC?
Rupp. Easy.
Can't hear nothing, bro.
Nothing.
I try to tell people how hard it was to play there, and I forgot who was on that team that what's his name? Bald head point guard. My freshman year, of course. Your senior year, it was two guards. They had Fitch was one.
Gerald Fitch
was one. What was the other guard? Slow motion, kind of.
Little lefty?
No, not lefty. He was more of a. I can't.
Number
think
one.
Of his name. I can't think his name.
I can't think his name too.
Bro.
Yeah, he was a defender. Yeah.
Who else? Who was the big?
They had Keith Bogans. They had Tayshaun Prince.
Keith Bogans. That's
who
name.
you're talking about. Yeah.
Keith Bogans, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my God, bro.
He
was
high
so
school.
strong, bro.
Yeah.
For me as a freshman, had to switch out or whatever, and him just boom. I'm like, wait a minute, dog.
But again, that to me that was a moment of. I don't think it was necessarily them being more physical than us. I think they just had the name across their chest and they played as if they knew they were going to win every game.
For sure.
And I don't think we ever got to a point where we were just that confident.
I'm going to tell you, I had a confident team my senior year.
Oh, yeah.
My senior year.
Y'all were loaded.
We were.
Y'all had 4 pros on that team. Five technically.
Five.
Yeah.
Trey.
Kelly.
Yeah,
Wiley,
Wallace,
Kenzie,
Ball,
Cool, and you,
and
the leader.
That was definitely a tough 5. But we played with a different swag. I guess it was more of, I told him, I was like, hey man, let's just have some fun, fellas.
All of y'all's personalities matched.
And we still in the group chat today. More than likely, I talked to them this morning. You know that.
All of y'all personalities matched.
Those are my guys, man.
And I envy that team. I always follow my brothers, and I came back in the summer times and hoop with y'all.
For
but
sure.
I could tell
always around, man.
Y'all squad was, I don't want to say equally yoked like y'all were married, but it was a marriage of personalities, and it fit. It doesn't always fit.
Yeah, for sure.
But y'all's energy. And I know the nightlife and everything else.
Hey man,
I stay focused. I'm stay focused.
No man, it's cool, man. We always kicked it though, man. We had bigs versus guards, we did WrestleMania type stuff.
Yeah,
we just be chilling like this in the in quads. And Josh Garnet pop out of nowhere. He jump on Antoine Tisby, and then Kenzie jump out of come out of nowhere and
off the top rope.
Off the top ropes, and Trey or somebody, and it was just we just had a lot of fun with that team.
Yeah.
Man. Could you think of a team, one of your teams, that was maybe similar? I know you say you envied us, but a team at Carolina or maybe a high school team. B-Lat. Shout out to B-Lat, man.
Nah.
No, probably
That
not.
matched that? No.
Somewhat
I think
close.
your freshman year was probably the closest knit team that I had been a part of at Carolina. My freshman year wasn't a good basketball season, but I had a blast. I can't even lie. My freshman year was fun.
Freshman year at Carolina, man.
It was fun. I had a great time. I hated losing,
but you enjoyed the.
But I enjoyed
the festivities.
Yeah.
It was definitely a lot of festivities at Carolina.
And then and then I'll take that back. No, it was that senior year because my sophomore year was a very weird transition, and then my junior year was the year Fogs left, and I actually contemplated going to play football.
Yeah, I wanted to touch base on that, man. I know you were talking about you going to play football, but how was that transition from Fogler to Odom? I know it was different, of course.
It was crazy because we played UConn in the NIT. I think it might have been the first or second round my junior year, and prior to us getting on the plane to go to Storied, Connecticut, right? Yeah. Coach Fogler told us he wasn't coming back.
Before
we took off.
That had to be.
And it's just like
emotional.
Yeah.
That's tough.
And I went through a lot of transition. Jeff Lebo, who I really wanted to play for because
USF? He was at USF at the time?
No. Jeff was with Fogler.
Oh.
When I got there, he went to
USF.
Tennessee Tech, I think, because he coached Kinlock, I believe, and then he ended up at Auburn, and then from Auburn he went somewhere else. Now he's back at Chapel Hill.
Gotcha. But
I wanted to play for him because he was a scoring machine. Like, he knew the game in and out.
I think somebody else. I'm tripping.
And then I ended up, Barkley Raderball kind of transitioned into being my coach, my guards coach. And of course, Fogs recruited me. And so it's like the guy I wanted to learn from was gone. And then I get a new guy. And then the new guy, Raderball, ended up leaving, I think, our senior year or the year before that. And then Fogs telling us, and it's just like, man, what's this all about? And then we got to try to go play one of the best teams in the country with Karan Butler and,
that UConn team.
Yeah, that one.
Mecca was on
Tariq
that team?
Evans. No. And so I remember distinctly being there and not wanting to be there at all.
During the game.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Because you don't know, after this game, win or lose, you have no clue what the future is going to look like. And yeah.
So we would say that's probably one of your most devastating moments at Carolina.
That was a tough moment. Just not knowing. And then when we got back, they were gone. So we were literally just like
hanging around.
And so I go out there with Sheldon Brown and Brian Scott and start working out, doing stuff
football.
with Joker Fuller. I was literally trying to
football training.
Yeah, to a certain degree.
Well,
I wasn't like spring practice or nothing like that. Yeah,
I'm just talking about just working on craft,
lifting on the gun with them, trying to learn different parts of the game. And so I really thought about it. And then they announced that Dave Odom was going to be the next coach. And I felt some type of way about that.
Speak on.
Here's why. So my junior year, I was supposed to be player of the year again. But I got beat out of seniority. Tyson Baltnight, that's my guy, Lexington High School, ended up winning player of the year that year. At the banquet, who's the guest speaker? Dave Odom. Dave Odom didn't recruit me at all. May have not even known about me at Wake Forest, but Randolph Childress, Tim Duncan, I followed them. he was recruiting a guy named James Griffin, I think out of Woodmont High School in Greenville. Now, James could go.
Yeah.
But I was a problem too.
Of course.
And I played in the city. So, and that Oak Hill story, but I saw Coach Odom on several occasions prior to him coming here, and I never got a sniff. Oak Hill, he came and watched us work out. I ended up coming back home, Player of the Year banquet, he's the guest speaker, and I still don't get nothing. And now he's announced as the coach. So I already felt some type of way off top, because I'm like, I'm going to really show him I can go, because you didn't even blink. And we bust them boys up in AAU, went in front of you, all of that. And then you're here now?
Yeah.
All right.
It
It's
gave
on.
you some motivation, man.
Oh,
That's
I
why you
was
played like
on
that.
fire that year.
That's why you played that way.
Let alone being a senior.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to show him, like,
Yeah.
you missed this. Not that I would, in hindsight, wanted to be anywhere else.
Yeah.
But, like,
You missed out.
that's that chip on my shoulder my senior year that you came in with. I left out on one because I wanted to show him, like, you missed a lot of things in the Columbia area.
Yeah.
But, that's another story.
No, that's dope, man. That's dope. Well, he gave you some motivation, man. Shout out to Dave Odom. He was definitely an inspiration for me.
Style of play helped.
Yeah. I kind of wish we would have played a little bit different with the guys that we had.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit. I
Man.
think we got after it, but I think we had a lot of in the NIT tournament. We just got to it.
Our year or after
No,
that?
my senior year.
Oh, yeah.
So my senior year, it was, Odom he had plays set for like Tim Duncan and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Down screen, cross screen, sit in the post. I was posting up.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm
you
saying?
were. Yeah.
But when it got, towards that end of my, senior year and all that stuff, man, we just started hooping. It was get it out, go. Let's ride.
Bump all that.
Yeah, let's go.
We with it.
Yeah, and I still remember, man, I had like the first 10 points against Georgetown. Like, got straight to it. It was calling, it didn't matter what was being called.
That was get back too,
Yeah, I know.
because they beat us on the buzzer. Braswell made that shot on me.
Yeah, that was tough, man.
But anyway, my
That was
bad.
definitely tough.
I
I know.
digress.
But, yeah. So, top 5 USC all time.
Players?
Yep.
Ooh.
Go on.
This what we doing?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Got good notes over there.
Yep. Great notes. Out of nowhere, too.
I think it's only right to start with the legend, Alex English,
For sure.
because of what he did for us.
Most
And be able to, Casey kind of opened the door, but I think Alex came through and kicked the door open so that we could all make our ways. JoJo English, certainly got to put in that category
JoJo.
because he inspired me watching as a little kid, watching him hoop. And then it was like, this is cool.
Yeah. JoJo
Right?
was one of those ones, man.
And I'm going to say, the one I'm going to save for last, this is no in particular order. I think Downey certainly was fun to watch with what he did and how he played the game. Of course, I can go, man, we can do this all day, but top 5 is tough. So I got Alex, Joe, Dev, I'm gonna have to go with you. Real talk.
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I was definitely not expecting that. For
Because listen, you took, like, you were that segue, and I say this respectfully, you were that segue between BJ and I would say Devin. Like I really can't think, and we've had some really good hoopers. I can't think anybody that, you know, set a tone after BJ before Devin than you. So, you know, the facts are what they are. The record speaks for itself.
Appreciate that.
You know, obviously Trey Kelly did his thing. That y'all whole squad, you know, Balk being a lottery pick, like y'all really had some hoopers, but I think you were still the focal point of that team. And last but not least is got to be BJ.
For sure.
Because he was my motivation in high school, and then when he went to Carolina, he was my motivation at Carolina. And the first thing I told him, this might have been for exhibition or first day of practice or something, I can't remember. He was in the training room. And I tell everybody the same story because it's the truth. I walked in the training room, and he's getting taped or whatever. JP is taping him up. And I was like, all them records you got, I'm coming for that. And in true BJ fashion, he was like, yeah, all right. Good luck. And that was the end of it. And obviously, I never came close to what he accomplished, but he set that tone because of what he was able to accomplish. And that's what we all want to do, right? I wanted to be the all-time leading scorer. I was still the all-time leading scorer at my high school. Wanted to be all-time leading scorer. Just wanted to be in that grouping. You know what I mean? So that would be my 5, but I could go down a list of guys that could easily be in there.
List.
Yeah, I mean, you got Jamie Watson, you got Barry Manning, you got you've got Sin, you got PJ.
Yeah,
you know, we could do this all day. Big Buck, Zam.
Big Buck. Shout out to Zam, man. One of my favorite players of all time. Like, just not Michael Carrera. Remember Carrera?
Energy. He was a version of you.
Yeah, I think that's why I like
years later. Yeah,
I think that's why I like him so much.
Same fire, same intensity. There are not many guys I can think of that played like y'all.
Yeah,
like
different.
Every day.
Yeah, it was no day off.
Practice, game, pre-game, post-game, Russell House. Energy was off the chain all the time.
For sure.
Yeah, so I mean, that's my 5. Obviously I could change the order. You still got Larry, you got one of my favorite point guards ever, Melvin Watson.
Yeah.
Man,
the list is crazy, man.
The list is certainly crazy. Skip Harlicker. I mean, I can go back on you.
Yeah. Oh, you did.
Because I've been around those guys. So obviously I had to do the research and just learn about what they brought to the game during their eras. We could do this all day.
I know. We could, man. Yeah. But I wish we could do this all day, but, man, we got to wrap it up, man. Episode 3, it's a wrap with Aaron Lucas. Full Court with CP. We out.